director at Lockdown.ie, Lockdown Model Agency, Fashion PR and Social Media Management. I'm also co-founder and director at Mercedes-Benz MSL Fashion Week Cork, corkfashionweek.com, and I've been working in the industry for over 18 years now. So I wanted to do a little series called the Grown Up series about what paths people have actually followed to get to where they are. I come across so many amazing men and women in different industries that didn't set out to be what they are. So things have worked out for them in the end, even if they didn't pursue the academic route that they were encouraged to in school, perhaps, just like myself. So I hope you enjoy the series, and today I'm going to meet Jemma Sugu. She is vocalist, vocal coach, and she owns this fabulous studio, VoiceWorks. So we're just going to go and say hi to her. Hi Jemma, how are you?
Welcome to VoiceWorks.
Come on. I'm here with the absolutely gorgeous Jemma Sugu, vocal coach and vocalist extraordinaire. I'm so glad we could even catch you because you're such a busy bee for a little chat.
I'm delighted for a hangout and a chat.
I love your studio. This is so amazing. It's really nice. I nearly want to be a singer. To hang out here.
There's a good sound in here actually, and we share this room with another company called Actors Vision, and we're in here during the afternoon, and then they do acting classes in the evening.
Nice.
Yeah.
Only I would probably break glass if I started.
I have seen pictures. You sing.
Yeah, that was in a former life. Yeah.
I actually stumbled across that recently in Jean's page.
We won't talk about that.
There's a keyboard over here, like.
Maybe we'll have. Well, I might come back in after the baby and have a few gins.
Cool.
I sound way better than you've had a few drinks. So I just want to have a little chat about your career. You've just achieved so much for someone so young. So when you were a kid, like, what did you want to be when you grow up?
I don't know. That kind of like. I think I always wanted to be a singer.
Okay.
I definitely do think that was.
Are you from a musical family?
There was a piano in the house, and everybody had to learn piano to make use of the piano in the house.
Okay.
So I learned piano, and I definitely went through a phase of thinking I might be like a famous piano player. But then I got a solo when I was 9 in the 4th class play, and I was already starting to write my biography after that. I was like, you know, as seen in the 4th class nativity play, and like also seen as Mary in 3rd class.
Best CV ever.
And like, yeah, building up my CV, cool.
And did you find in school that school in general had a positive or negative influence on your career path and your life path where you are now?
You know, I actually, when I look back on school, I think I was a bit of a rebel. I kind of did my own thing. I would see subjects that I hadn't any interest in, and I wouldn't actually put in much effort.
Yeah.
I was a bit of an average student, and I would always find a way of sneaking out and getting into a music room, because I actually went to boarding school for 5th and 6th year, and you could put up your music book in study and say, I have Kjol, and go off and do Kjol. But I never actually did. You'd have different supervisors all the time, so I pretended I always had. So I just spent my whole time in the music room, didn't really do any study, and just kind of rebelled against most things. And I really felt like I started my journey after school, but I learned the whole regime of, like, you know, getting up in the morning and going somewhere and doing something and having to apply yourself. The routine was brilliant, but I also learned how to rebel and do my own thing.
So you kind of knew, well, you didn't know, but you were creative before you realised, I guess.
Yeah, totally. And I'd put 1000% into something that I cared about, and I go above and beyond and completely obsessive on it. And like, I loved English, and I loved music, and I kind of like maths and those things, and I would go mad on them. But anything that I didn't have interest in, I was just like, I'm not going there. I want to invest my time better in something else.
And actually I come across that so much with some of the younger kids that we would work with as well, and they just feel under so much pressure, like it's all academic, that they've, you know, and so many of them are creative. It was probably the same for us in school.
Yeah.
You know, we weren't really encouraged to pursue creative fields, and I think it's so important. Like, look at you now, you know.
It really is, and you know what, it's so valuable in society, because you look at, you know, with the technology, and a lot of stuff is becoming automatic or automated, and actually the real intelligence is in the creative intelligence and in the emotional intelligence. That's the gold, you know. And if you have that, and we all have that, everybody has an element of that, and if you can tap into that, that's what makes you a very unique and special and valuable human. Like,
agreed, absolutely. What was your first job?
My first job, I actually I was 13 and I was working in a restaurant, and it was I absolutely loved having a job so much, and I was washing dishes, but I loved it so much. I used to get dressed into my uniform, because I used to work the 4 to 6 shift after school, but school wouldn't finish till 5 to 4. So I'd literally get dressed into my kitchen outfit, like underneath the desk, and run, and the restaurant was just across the road from the school, run down, and like, you know, I got paid and everything, but I didn't care about getting paid. I actually just loved that I had a job. I thought it was the coolest thing.
Aww. 13 is quite young, actually.
Yeah, it was.
I think I was 14 as well.
Yeah.
But back then, I guess you had to kind of work for everything, you know. We didn't just get an iPad handed to us, or an iPhone, or, you know.
And then it felt, you know, you earned it, and it feels a bit more special.
Yeah, totally. And tell me, so you now own VoiceWorks. How did that come about?
So I had met a girl named Leisha Leahy, who's a beautiful jazz singer, and she's actually the senior vocal tutor in the School of Music for the pop degree, and we set it up together. We met in the School of Music on the Masters. I was doing an MA and she was doing an MA, and we decided we had to do something together. We did a summer camp initially, and that went really well, and we had met really talented kids that we couldn't see going down the classical road, singing wise, and we couldn't really see them going into stage schools, and we were like, we'll have to make up something for these kids. They've got to do something. They've got to keep this going. This can't end at the summer camp. So we had August to make up a school, you know.
Wow.
So, and I had to finish my masters, was being submitted. Leisha had done hers the year before. Mine was being submitted the end of that month.
While you're setting a business up.
Yeah, it was so tough, and we're trying to wangle a business loan and find a venue, and you know,
that's like a learning experience in itself.
Majorly. And I think, like, if we thought about it more, we mightn't have done it. I think it was just so like, just come on, let's
throw
go.
Yourself into
it. Totally. Brilliant. And we had to get ready for September, because that would have been the beginning of the academic year, so it was quite intense, but that's how it came about.
And what would you say has been your biggest challenge in the last few years around not just your own performing, but setting the business up as well?
Yeah, I think I suppose, what has been the biggest challenge? I think that was a really, really difficult time. It was so exciting, but it took a lot of courage to go, I own it. I made it. You make it up. I made up a school, and I made up that I'm a director. Like,
but then you had to put it all
then
into
you have
place,
to be that
make it
person.
official.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But the fact that, like, even coming to terms with the fact that we were like, what would we call ourselves? I don't know, would we be directors? Do you want to be a director? I'm like, yeah, it's kind of cool.
Myself and Viv had the same thing. Yeah, and in fact we couldn't find a name for lockdown, and they were running some story on the Examiner about us. We needed a company name, so we were like, what are we going to call ourselves?
Yeah.
And we told us, like, Bellissima. We were looking at Italian fashion magazines, and it was actually a guy we worked with who had said lockdown, because every time you have an event, the city goes into lockdown. Nobody goes to work the next day or anything.
Brilliant.
And we were like, maybe that will work.
Yeah.
Even though it sounded weird at the time. How did you come across VoiceWorks as a name?
Leisha had VoiceWorks already as the name of her business. She was running just like one-to-one lessons out of her house, and so we just kept that and called it VoiceWorks Studio.
Brilliant. And it's so synonymous in Cork with really great talent and young talent. Like, I've seen you guys in the park doing live gigs where, like, really young kids are getting up on stage and performing with instruments and singing, and it's just fantastic to see it. There wasn't anything like that in the city before you started.
Yeah, and I think both Leisha and I would have loved to have gone to VoiceWorks. It was the school we wished we had when we were teens. and all the courses we made up were the courses we dreamed of going to when we were in school.
Brilliant.
And in fact, everything that we you know yourself, when you're setting up the business and you're putting up the website and you're saying what's involved in it, and our dream courses and classes and ideas all, you know, became a reality, and all were things that people wanted, and stayed the same.
But you have to go make that happen yourself.
Yeah.
How many students do you have on average now?
You kind of fluctuate between 250 to 300.
Wow.
And there's about between Killarney and Cork, there's about 14 vocal coaches.
That's amazing.
And it's just, I mean, we do guitar and piano, but like vocals is our speciality, and like we could become a music tuition school or a dance and acting and singing, and we just ended up going, look, we love singing, this is what we know, and let's just be niche, and let's just be great at that.
And I think that's how a lot of entrepreneurs actually hone what they're doing and become very successful. Instead of trying to be a jack of all trades, they pick what they're really good at and just throw themselves into that.
Totally.
It seems to be working for you.
Yeah, and you need to keep doing the hours that we do in business. You have to be in love with it. You have to feel the love and feel the passion for it and the excitement. And I can't really feel like work too much.
Yeah.
You've got to be hopping out of bed going, okay,
I'm excited about today. Tell me, with social media, you're really, really good in social media. You share tutorials and vocal tutorials, and you're really good at Snapchat actually as well. How do you see that social media has changed things for you as a business person, but also just to connect with young people as well through your social media platforms? How has that helped you?
Yeah, it's definitely helped me a lot. Like, I actually take the marketing approach of marketing singing. So, and then if I can make people want to sing, then they can come to VoiceWorks, or they can go somewhere else and get singing lessons. But all I want to do is convert the world to be interested in singing. And then after that, whatever path they end up going, if they end up coming to me, brilliant. If not, that's fine. And I just know that I'm passionate about it, and I kind of just need somewhere to vent my excitement about it. And I actually find Facebook tricky for me. I like Facebook, but when I came across Snapchat, I was like, yeah, this is the medium for me. I love it. I like talking, obviously, and I don't mind being on camera, and I like the kind of unedited atmosphere of it. Yeah, totally. And it's kind of disposable as well, and I just feel like I communicate the best that way. I don't know if I communicate. I find it hard to communicate and get my personality across and get my, you know, you're trying to get tone of voice and everything in
Facebook.
And it's I find it quite noisy actually, Facebook. There's a lot going on.
There is.
I know it's necessary to be on it, but when I found Snapchat, I was like, oh,
it's more personal. And I can't not ask you about your collaboration with the RT Orchestra and Jenny Green. Myself and the girls tried to get tickets to go to the marquee, and it's completely sold out. We're like, okay, we need to get tickets to go to it. It's completely sold out.
It's crazy. And I actually made the mistake as well of like telling my friends, were like, oh, will we go? And I'm like, oh yeah. I was like, you know, I don't even know if I have even tickets. Like, obviously I will, but you know, even just extras. But like, yeah, I sold out in like 4 or 5 hours.
Unbelievable.
And I told people, oh, it'll be fine, like, because I knew the other gig in November in Dublin took a couple of weeks to sell.
Okay, but that was a huge venue as well.
Yeah, it is a bigger venue, definitely.
Tell me, how did that come about?
So I got a phone call last August, I think, or July or August, saying, I didn't get the phone, I just got a voicemail going, this is Mary here from the RT Concert Orchestra, it's about Electric Picnic, get back to me quick. And I was like, oh my god,
what is this?
It's very exciting. So she had offered me the gig to sing with Jenny and the orchestra for a show in Electric Picnic that was coming up in a couple of weeks. And
did you have to go rehearse much?
No, I didn't. You have one, because you're dealing with 50 musicians or 48 musicians in a room. Time is money, and you just get one run through really of everything. You go through everything.
How daunting was that?
Very terrifying. But and like, I expected to be like burned on the bandstand, as they say, you know, go in front of everyone, and they're all like, and you get judged, but it was really lovely. They were really.
But you could even tell that there was such a great vibe from the whole thing.
Totally, and they're a really, really gorgeous group of people. The orchestra, there's a great atmosphere and camaraderie, and there's no snobbery about it. It's like, you know, because these are classically trained musicians who spent years at their craft, and like they were so into the whole atmosphere of it. And like, I don't know if they've ever done a gig where people are topless sitting up on each other's shoulders at Electric Picnic
throwing pints of beer around.
Yeah. It was such a crazy atmosphere. And then I remember there was people at the front who I don't think might have ever have seen a live orchestra like that.
It's just amazing.
For the whole thing, like, couldn't believe it was happening. There was people crying, and like, you know, it was really special. But the whole Electric Picnic thing was such a surprise for people.
Yeah. And to bring the live music element in, and to fuse the orchestral side of things with the DJ and with the vocal. It was just genius, absolutely genius. And because all of our gang wanted to go to the Cork gig, and then everyone's saying, oh, okay, we need a CD, we need an album, we need it's just so good. It
is, and like all the nostalgia, like the tunes are brilliant, like they're such, oh my god,
it's real sing-along stuff.
Totally, and everyone knows it, and you know, the minute the first bar is played, everyone's like, yes, that song. You're like, yeah.
So what do you have to do to prepare for that?
Well, actually, I had one of the songs, I won't tell you what the song is because I can't tell you, but one of them is a really tough song with a lot of like rocky kind of distortion in the vocal, and I would be
more for a male singer?
No, it's female singer, but it's really all out kind of, it's gospely. And I know I'm going to need to up my game to sing it. So I had a Skype lesson with a guy in LA last night at 8 o'clock who's the best in the world at teaching rock distortion.
That is so amazing that you can just go on Skype and get
literally that. I just went down a forum, I was like, who's the best in the world for that? And they're like, you should definitely get onto that guy. Ask him, and he's just like, yeah, I'm available this time or this time. You're like, okay, and you set up a Skype, and Skype is fantastic. Like, whatever discipline you are involved in or interested in, you can find somebody to teach you about it or mentor you online on Skype.
And I love that idea of, regardless of what you work in, find the best at your craft and reach out to them. Don't be afraid to ask them. Everyone likes to be asked anyway.
Absolutely. And he's actually going to be at an event that I'm going to in 2 weeks' time in San Francisco, and I've made that connection with him. And then he's obsessed with another teacher who's teaching him, and he sent me his email, and I emailed him after that, and now I'm having a lesson with him in San Francisco, and making all these connections and constantly just being in a state of learning. And
that's amazing.
It's so
you never know everything, regardless of what you do.
Ever, and it's so much fun, and it's so invigorating and exciting when you learn something new.
So what are you working on at the moment?
Well, today I was actually I songwrite with a guy, Eric Gillickson, every Thursday morning. So we're actually coming up with some tracks to release hopefully soon. So we've been working on that kind of religiously every week.
And we can see that on social media hopefully when it happens.
Hopefully when it happens and when it's ready. So no, definitely it will be ready soon. And just kind of, I suppose, the gigs, and I'm constantly trying to better myself as a singing teacher. I think that would be my number one passion all the time. Like, it fluctuates and different things become priority, but they all inform each other. Like, when I go up and sing the gig, it informs me as a teacher to go, okay, when you're in this situation and you're feeling like this, I know how it feels.
So you can translate that to students and they can learn from that.
Totally, because you can get really disassociated from it if you just teach. You actually forget what it's like to stand up on the stage and go through all of that adrenaline and those emotions and those feelings of fear and anxiety, and then conquering that and feeling like on top of the world. You know, otherwise you're just going, go on up on stage, you'll be grand, have a good time, good luck.
But you're actually sleeping and breathing what you do and what you teach. Oh, amazing. I think we could just talk for hours. I could listen to you for hours and singing, of course. But, so yeah, I just hope that, actually I have one more question for you. So what do you want to be when you grow up?
Oh my God, I want to keep, I have this idea that, like, I worry about having one passion actually. And I worry about, say, you were talking about the CEO and stuff, and I actually, you know, I'm working with teens all the time, and they're asked to fill out the thing that they're going to do for the rest of their life.
It's just so crazy.
There's no such thing, and there's no way you could know that at that age. Your passion continuously evolves and changes and diversifies, and just keep following that. So at the moment, I just want to become the best vocal coach I can possibly be, and keep going on that path. But I keep all of the paths open, and keep informing. Everything informs everything else. Keep singing, and hopefully keep inspiring people and making people excited about what excites me.
I love it. Thank you for joining me for a coffee. We're going to have some donuts now.
Yay!
We're really full. And I just hope that this series, I guess, I just really want people to realise that there isn't one pool of academic forever careers and jobs that you have to go into. It's really about breaking molds and taking risks, and I guess meeting amazing people like you who have done that and are happy in what they do. You're living your life happy, loving what you do, getting out of bed and happy to come to work every day.
Absolutely.
That's everything.
Yeah.
Gemma, thank you so much.
Thanks, Emer.